Welcome, pharmacology students, and welcome to NUR 187, Pharmacology and Safe Medication Administration for the Fall 2023 semester here at Mesa Community College. My name is Glenna Bayer, B-A-Y-E-R, and I am your instructor for this course. I used to say recently retired from Mesa, but now I've looked at the calendar. It's actually been since 2017 that I retired. I've been teaching patho and pharmacology for Mesa online ever since then. But prior to that, I worked at Mesa full-time since 2006 to 2017 and was teaching Block 3 in Med-Surg and for the last 6 or 7 years was the coordinator of the paramedic to RN transition program. And I also taught pharmacology during that period as well. I apologize for my froggy voice. There's nothing really I can do about it. I'm trying to get over a summer cold. So I apologize for that. In other videos, you'll hear me hopefully speaking more normally. I am coming to you from Loveland, Colorado, where I moved in after I retired in 2017. And since then, I've also been working part-time for a company called ATI, and my role is to travel around the western states and provide the 3-day session of review, NCLEX review, for brand new grads who are better preparing to sit for their licensure exam. We are here taking one of my favorite courses because even through all these years, I maintain that medication administration is at the very top of the list of the most important things nurses do, most important task you do as part of your job. And it is a task. However, you as the human being, hopefully, I always say this as well, hopefully we're not producing a generation of robot nurses. We need nurses, critical thinking nurses, to be administering medications who can assess the patient properly to determine if this is going to be a safe event for the patients. So we always emphasize safe medication administration. That means not being a robot nurse, not just reading a label and giving it, but actually looking up what the proper dose is, what the proper rate of administration is for IV drugs, and how to best prepare them. All the safety issues. What are the labs I need to look at prior to giving a med? What a patient assessment do I need to perform on this patient before I can safely give this med? And when do I sense there might be a reaction, a medication reaction, or that this med might not be compatible with the meds that the patients are already on? Do I know when to call the pharmacist? Do I know when to question a physician order about a medication? Either question it for clarification or question whether, in fact, it is the right drug for this patient. And very often, that intervention or that step of knowing who to call, when to call, is the step that maintains the safe environment for the patient. You are the patient advocate, obviously, as a nurse. So once the order has come through and the medication is in the Pyxis, it's in your hand. Now it's between you and your nursing brain to determine, is this going to be safe for my patient? So what we're going to do here is talk about, I'm going to introduce you to the syllabus, the course syllabus, which is found in Canvas. Quick tour of Canvas. Hopefully many of you or most of you are already very familiar with Canvas, but just to show you where to find things for this course. And then we'll go to Lippincott and we'll talk about how this course all comes together. Here is a look at the course syllabus. It can be found under the syllabus tab in Canvas. I encourage you to print it out because it also contains a week-by-week schedule of the course. That schedule does coincide with the Canvas schedule, and it also coincides with the Lippincott. But just to remind you that this course starts on September 5th and it ends on November 3rd. It's either an 8 or 9 week course, depending on how you look at it. I think in the fall it usually runs 9 weeks. But it is a fast and furious course. You do earn 1.5 units for this course. It is a lot of reading, but don't be scared off by that, because I do my best to narrow that down for you by resources I provide for you. Here's your refund date if you change your mind about this course, and the last day to withdraw with a W would be September 30th. So requirements include Canvas, and then CARCH focus on nursing pharmacology, a course point plus enhanced experience provided by Lippincott, the 8th edition. And tell your friends about this, because this semester, fall 2023, will be the last semester that we'll be using the 8th edition. And you might keep that in mind if you're thinking about possibly dropping the course. This is a significant investment, financial investment in this course. But what comes inside this Course Point Plus is not only the ebook that is yours forever, but also access to the virtual simulations, the VSIMs. I think there's 8 or 9 of them in this course. I only assign 4 of them. So you're welcome to practice your VSIMs. In the Maricopa program, I know that VSIMs are widely assigned. So the more practice you get with VSIMs, the better you get at it. It is kind of a learning curve. You also have access to PrepU, which is the testing platform that sits inside the Lippincott course, as well as Lippincott Nursing Advisor, which is a database of not just a drug lookup database, but a database of all sorts of information. Patient teaching sheets about medication. There is kind of a medical encyclopedia inside of it as well. Here we have the lexicon and the up-to-date drug handouts for patient education that can be found there. So it's very timely, and it's a lot of resources for your money. This course, the book, can be downloaded onto 4 different devices. So if you have, if that's a desire of yours, but you have problems figuring out how to do it, just contact Lippincott support and they'll walk you through it. Here's our course description, our competencies, and our grading scale. Be reminded that an NUR course means we're using the NUR grading scale, which is a little bit tougher than the college grading scale. The lowest C is a 76%. This course is passed by earning course points. Here's your total number of course points here, 300. And then you must attain at least 228 to get the very lowest C. Hopefully you've set your sights higher than that. And I also do give about 3 points for extra credit activities during this week. We call this Getting Started Week. And those must be turned in by the end of the week deadline in order to earn that extra credit. And I can tell you that those 3 points sometimes do make a difference. They do not ever seem to make a difference of someone failing and passing, but they do make a difference for someone getting a high B and then an A. So you might want to have those 3 extra credit points in your pocket just for some insurance. And then how you earn points throughout the course is by submitting a weekly PrepU quiz that is instructor authored, is available to you at the beginning of each week, and then it's due at the end. Our weeks end on Sunday night at 11:30. Our weeks begin on Mondays. So every week you'll get one of those 10-point quizzes. They're worth a total of 80 points for your course points. Next up is your assigned VSIMs. These are also found in Lippincott. They are each worth 10 points. And look at this little asterisk right here and come down and we'll figure out what that asterisk means. There are a number of different learning activities contained within each VSIM. The ones I recommend you doing is the pre-quiz, because it gives you an idea what's going to be on the post-quiz. You'll be getting points for 80% proficiency on your performance on the scenario, the actual simulation, and then 100% you'll get full points on if you get 100% on the post test. And the reason I have those scores the way they are is because you can repeat the scenario as many times as you like, and you can repeat the post test as many times as you like. And then there's other activities that are simply not required, like parts 4 and parts 5 are not required. Part 5, I believe, is about an SBAR reporting format where you compose an SBAR report about your experience with the patient. And then part 6, I believe, is about your reflections about what you learned in this simulation. Those are not required for this course, but you can go ahead and do them because as you progress through the nursing program, other instructors will be requiring them. Certainly, when you get into med-surg, this will help you get familiar with SBAR and get comfortable composing SBAR reports. And then you'll have drug lookup assignments. You'll have 4 of these. These assignments actually sit inside Canvas. The assignments are inside Canvas, and you'll open them up, and there'll be some questions about a drug. You're encouraged to use the Lippincott Advisor, which you find on Lippincott, as your source for answering those questions. Please do not use Google. Do not, I repeat, do not use Google to look up drugs, and the grades will go directly into your Canvas gradebook. All the points that you earn on Lippincott, I need to transfer over to the Canvas gradebook, which I typically do once a week. Then you have other timed exams. I failed to say that these quizzes are also timed. Other timed exams, you have a midterm, which covers weeks 2 through 8, and then a final, which is not comprehensive. It covers the content you get through ages week 6, 7, and 8. So each of these bigger exams covers about 3 weeks of material. 80 points each for a total of 160. That's how you earn a full 300 points. So your learning activities are, as pointed out here, reading in the ebook, the weekly quizzes. We'll talk more about how you can use PrepU to increase your mastery of topics on your own. It can be used as a self-assessment tool as well. And then the VSIMs are on the Lippincott site. The drug lookups will be submitted. They're found and submitted on Canvas, but the actual information can be provided through Lippincott Advisor. Now that the course is open, please contact me through Canvas. That is the most efficient way to get my attention. Attendance policy, you're expected to log in once a week at least to both the Canvas course and the Lippincott. Failure to log in might constitute no-show, and you are jeopardizing your success. You know, this is an online course, but there are deadlines at the end of each week, and you'll be thankful for those deadlines. You really will once you see the amount of information that we have to cover each week. There is no way you can fall behind in this. So when you miss the deadline to submit those weekly quizzes, those points are gone. Your responsibilities, of course, are to conduct yourself according to the MCC Student Handbook. We have resources. Study resources are available online and on campus. Websites for you to get tutoring if you need it. Be evaluated for a learning disability, possibly. We have online tutoring. We have the Learning Enhancement Center. And then if you have problems that are outside of this academic course that are interfering with your potential for success in this or any of your courses, personal, career, financial, whatever, we have trained counselors on staff that are, their only purpose is to serve the students. So that service is free to you, and here's how you can reach them. Here's a website of how you might reach a counselor. Academic misconduct and dishonesty. Obviously, this is an online course, so we're prohibiting screenshots. I've kind of built the course, hopefully, in such a way to discourage cheating and sharing of answers. Every test you get The questions are shuffled, so you can't be on the phone with somebody trying to take it at the same time. Because remember, these are timed. That's another reason why all of the assessments are timed. That discourages students just looking up the answer. It's not, they're not made to be open book. They're made to test your knowledge of what you studied the previous week. How do you get this Lippincott course? If you haven't yet got it, I'm sure many of you have not. You can either contact the bookstore, and they can, what you'll purchase from them is an access code for Lippincott, or you can use this website, which was built by Lippincott just for Mesa, because Lippincott also provides Mesa with all of its nursing program resources. So they do give us a pretty substantial discount. And what you'll be looking for is NUR 187, and you'll be looking for Karch Course Point Plus 8th edition. You can put that right into your Lippincott cart and pay for it. And then through that process, it will be dropped into you will have created a Lippincott account if you don't already have one. So then you've got the course in your account. One more step, and that is to enroll in this class. So you'll have the Karch Course Point Plus, but you won't be able to see the exams or the assignments or the course the way I have built it for this semester. So you have to enroll or join a class inside the Lippincott site using this class code for the fall 2023 semester of Lippincott. And I'll show you what that looks like when we get done. Here is your fall calendar. And this coincides, as I say, with the Canvas calendar and also with Lippincott calendar. This is your getting started week that we're in right now. These are your opportunities to collect 3 only extra credit points. But I strongly encourage you, even if you don't even care about extra credit points, this also is a prompter to get you familiar with the technology that we're going to be using here. This is your chance, your week, to familiarize yourself with all of the technology so that you're not coming to me on September 12th or 15th and saying, I don't know how to open the ebook, or I don't know how to whatever. This is what you're supposed to be doing this week, is figuring all that out. And I'll show you how you can do that. So there is a syllabus quiz that appears on Canvas that's required. It is required, but you do get 1 extra credit point. You have to acknowledge that you are familiar with the syllabus, which we're doing right here. And then complete a getting started week practice quiz. There's a practice quiz that I built for you on Lippincott and Prep U. It's 10 questions, but it is only worth 1 point. So give it the best shot because it's on easy material that you should already know from previous classes. Also, regardless of your score this week, you will still get the extra credit point for submitting it. And then there is a practice vSim. And if you've never dealt or been assigned virtual simulations, this is where most students struggle in the first week or 2. So this is your chance to get familiar. And these are upgraded simulations. They're now next gen simulations. So they've added some extra features related to next gen and NCLEX. So you'll find these in the point. You'll find these under assignments, basically. They come up as they're due. And I'll show you how you can best prepare yourself for success with that simulation. Here's the reality is that when you're new to Lippincott vSims, like for instance, the first time I ever did one, I got a 67%, which was pretty bit disappointing. Like there's no, if I was in a class, that could not be submitted. You do get feedback. So I strongly encourage you, after your first time out, click on the feedback log because it's going to tell you first of all, it's going to tell you every step you performed and in what order. And then it's going to tell you what you did right and what you did wrong. Sometimes what you did wrong is omitting an important step. Sometimes it's because you simply did it way out of proper order. Like, for instance, you spend a half an hour with the patient, and then on your way out the door, you verify the patient's name and date of birth. That's an essential element, but you should have done that as you were starting your interaction with the patient. But by reviewing the feedback log, it tells you what you can do to improve. So then you take that knowledge, you go back and do it again. So you can repeat the simulation to bring your score up. The same thing with the post-test. In order to get full credit, you must get 100% on the post-test. So let's say you missed 2 questions the first time out. Go look at what those questions were and then repeat the post-test. And the second time, after you've reviewed your incorrect questions, you should absolutely get 100% on that. That's why this week is so important for you to submit your practice VSIMs. Then each week is laid out here with what the content will be. And as you see, week 2, you're probably already on the computer trying to drop this class. Don't do that, because let me tell you how this is all doable. I, your instructor, have highlighted the entire textbook for you. Every week there is on Canvas what I call a focus video. So you'll start out week 2 by watching the week 2 focus video. Then you will listen to that, because I'm going through each chapter saying, in chapter 2, there are 3 objectives that I'd like you to get. And I tell you what those 3 objectives are. And then if you open that book, you'll go down to see my highlights. Now, you won't see my highlights as highlighted text in your book, but you will see my highlights as instructor notes in the margins. That's how they transfer instructor highlights over to the student. So I provide you with instructions on how to access those highlights, and then watching the focus video will really help make it manageable for you, because there are some weeks where there might be 2 or 3 learning objectives for each of these chapters. And some of this you're going to know. For instance, every week there's an introduction to the system. And in this week 2, we're looking at drugs that work on the GI system. Well, maybe you just finished anatomy and physiology and you totally know all there is to know about the gastrointestinal system. You can skip this chapter if you don't need it. It's assigned here to refresh your memory if you do need it. For each chapter, I will assign you 1 or 2 drugs that you should know from each of these chapters. So it really makes it much more manageable when at first glance you would say, there's no way I can do this in a week. And then you'll complete the week 2 quiz on the point. And we go through every week like that, telling you what your assignments are. In week 2, you do have a drug lookup assignment. So that reminds you to go to Canvas, you open up that drug lookup assignment, and then go to the Lippincott Advisor to look up the drug and answer the questions. Week 3, we have your first virtual simulation that's due, and then you also have a drug lookup assignment that week as well. And week 4, you have no extra activities. Of course, you do have those weekly quizzes, and then you have a midterm. The midterm will open, it'll be on these 3 weeks of material. The midterm will open on Sunday morning and will close on Tuesday night. So it doesn't mean that it opens on Sunday morning. It means it's available to you to open. Do not open it unless you intend to take it, because these are timed as well. You open it and you say, oh my gosh, I didn't read these 4 chapters. I can't take this test yet. Well, you've already opened it, so now you are in trouble. So please do not take the midterm until you've completed everything that sits above it. You've completed your week 4 quiz, and you feel you're ready to take the quiz. Find yourself a quiet place. It's 40 questions, so you'll get 40 minutes to take that. And once you open it, you cannot leave it and come back to it. So that clock starts ticking. And then we go through the weeks like so until we're at our final. And here's the dates that the final opens and closes for you as well. So that is our syllabus. And I'm just going to take a quick trip over to Canvas. We'll spend a moment on Canvas. Here we are on Canvas, and you may have other courses on Canvas as well. Here is your NUR 187 course. Basically, this is all for this week, this getting started week. You're already watching this video right now, so you found your way there. And then this is the extra credit syllabus quiz, getting started on Prep U. This is the Prep U quiz I told you about. You'll have to go to Lippincott to take that quiz. You'll have to go to Lippincott to take the virtual sim as well. And then this is the link for how you gain access to instructor highlights. And then we go through week by week with your starting with the focus video for the week. Please, sometimes these do take 20, 25, 30 minutes, but it's an investment in saving you time when you look at what your reading assignments are. My advice is that you have this open, maybe split screen, and then you also have your Lippincott ebook open, because you could be highlighting the learning objectives, or you could write them down. It's up to you as I go through all the learning objectives for the various chapters. Then here's your drug lookup. I can just show you for a moment what that looks like. For pantoprazole IV, and it says, please use the Lippincott advisor to do this drug lookup. So these are the questions you'd be answering. So my advice is that you would highlight all of this, and then you'd, oh, this is the instructor view. Sorry. You'd highlight it, copy it into your response box, which you find down here underneath somewhere. And then you actually input your answers. Very often, students will forget to answer some of these questions. And this is also a way for you to not forget to answer any of the questions. So that is where you'll, and then you'll submit after you answer the questions. You'll submit in Canvas your drug lookup. And then every once in a while, we have another drug lookup in week 3. There's your VSIM that's also due in week 3, and your quiz. Every once in a while, I put in a video that sometimes it's animation, sometimes it's from YouTube, just something that might be helpful for you. Like this one is about respiratory drugs. What's really happening with asthma? It shows, at the bronchial level, what's happening with asthma and how bronchodilators actually work. And then the basics of COPD is always interesting. And then just a reminder, if you open this, this is not the exam, but it's reminding you to go to Lippincott. Sometimes I put in graphics that students have found helpful. So that is Canvas kind of marched out for you for these 8 weeks. Here is your grade book. If you want to contact me, go to your inbox and just start typing in my name. And that's really about all that we'll be using in Canvas. Hopefully you're familiar with Canvas. Here we are on the Lippincott site. They call it the point. And under my content, here is the course we're talking about. CARCH, Focus on Nursing Pharmacology, 8th edition. We're going to launch it. And very simply, here's all content, assignments, results. You can use this if you like. I'll be using it to pick up your performance on your Prep U quizzes and exams and your VSIMs, but I'll be taking these points and transferring them back over to the Canvas gradebook. My best advice is to stay here under assignments, because this is where I have organized everything in chronological order. So you don't have to be bouncing around the site to go here and there to find your assignments. So we're starting with this getting started week, and these are due dates. You'll always see due dates here. And If it's an ebook reading, a chapter, those chapters are available to you right now. You don't have to wait until they're due. So they're available to you at all times. The quizzes are only available to you the week, starting the week of the week that you're being quizzed on to the due date. So these should be, this practice quiz should be available to you now. And then it's due on September 10th. And the same with the VSIMs, they're available to you all the time and then just due. If you want to just go dive into VSIMs and like be a maniac, these are all of your VSIMs that are available in the course. Then you'll see that I've only assigned 5 with the getting started, but 4 for grading. And then there's other ones available here. You can just go in and knock yourself out. You'll get such benefit by just doing extra VSIMs, because every time you complete one, you will feel stronger about your decision-making skills and feel stronger about your rhythm that you have with patients and about, the best way to approach all patients. First you wash your hands, then you're going to greet the patient and check their name and date of birth before you do anything. And it just kind of gets you into the rhythm of best practice when it comes to patient interaction. By clicking into this, you'll actually open up the VSIM. But before you do that, let me take you to a very important place. Follow me, up, up, up to training and support. If you are new to Lippincott, if you are new to VSIM, if you already have experience, you can just skip all this. But you click on training and support and come down to nursing education students. And then what kind of a course is this? This is a Course Point Plus course. So we want to go into Course Point Plus and see what can we learn about it. Getting started in Course Point Plus, these are little videos. And here's what I strongly recommend. Oh, you have to do a little bit of this. So school email, and then you just do this once. Okay, so now in a Course Point Plus, these are all the things you might want to research. You could do them all, and it would take you an hour and 15 minutes. Or by topic, each one of these videos is either 1, 3, 5, 6 minutes. So you've already joined a class, I believe. You've already accessed. Here's what I would like you to go to. Teach yourself about PrepU, how PrepU works. So it'll tell you how to access student-authored quizzes and tests that I have developed for you, and they appear in assignments on this class. But how you can do self-assessment on PrepU is another component of this whole course that you've purchased to get your money's worth out of it. It's a data bank of bazillions of questions on any topic. But if there's a topic area, or let's say you're like, I don't know anything about the endocrine system. All the endocrine system, all it does is it just like mixes me up. So you want to go take some questions about how the endocrine system works or drugs that we use to treat endocrine disorders. You can go to those chapters and say, I want to do self-assessments. This is an overview of ebooks. How can you get the most out of your ebook? How can you bookmark it? Say you're interrupted. How do you download it to various platforms? How do you highlight for your own information? And how do you use other people's highlights? You can share highlights. Say you have a study partner and you're going to share your highlights this week and they're going to share their highlights with you. And then also you should be seeing instructor highlights as well. Lippincott Advisor. How do we best use the Lippincott Advisor? And in particularly what you want to look at is the drug component of Lippincott Advisor to do those drug lookup assignments. But you'll see all the information that's included in that for you. And then VSIMs. You want next gen VSIMs. So come down here to next generation for VSIMs. And this will help you understand the flow of a VSIM. Where do you find the tools? Where do you find the menus? Say you want to take vital signs, you're looking on the screen and you're like, what? I don't even know where to go. I don't know how this works. That's what your situation will be if you don't take the time to familiarize yourself with these resources. There are 2 videos here that will help you to master VSIMs. So please do not, if you have never done a VSIM, but you want to do one for extra credit, please don't even attempt that extra credit one until you have watched this video, and then you'll become an expert. And then if you want to access tech support, I put the number in Canvas. It's available lots of different places, but you can also get tech support here. So that's important for you. And once again, how did we get there? We went up to the top and clicked on training and support. Then we clicked on nursing education and found our way into Course Point Plus resources. And then the videos I think are important for you are Prep U, ebook, Lippincott Advisor, and VSIM. Now, you can also access your Prep U exams this way, or get into Prep U for self-assessment this way. You can access any or all of the VSIMs this way. Access Lippincott Advisor will always be here. And then you can access your ebook here too, or you can just click on the chapter that's assigned and it will open up. Your ebook will open up. You'll see here in the first week where we're talking about properties of medications. I put lots of videos up in here. A picture's worth 1,000 words. These are 2 to 3 minute videos. And there's a lot of these. Drug absorption, drug binding, drug distribution, drug excretion. How do drugs work? How do drugs work in healthy tissue? How do drugs work when a patient has a disorder? And then we have all these various chapters. So you'll open up the chapter. The first thing you'll see is a glossary of terms. Then you'll see the learning objectives for the chapter. Then you'll see my highlighted learning objectives. And because hopefully you've watched the focus video, you'll know how to focus your own time and reading chapters. Here's one more video for that second week, week 2, on the 3 checks and the rights of medication administration. This will slow you down a little bit because it'll just remind you of how things are done properly. Paramedics, this is probably highly not like the way you're used to giving meds, but this is the way you should be giving meds in a clinical setting. Please pay attention to this. And also pay attention to the nursing process as it is braided into all of these chapters about what nurses need to assess related to this category of medications. So that's the way Lippincott is organized for you. Let's see, we have weekly quizzes. These will not be visible to you until a week out. So a week before this is due, you'll see week 3 quiz. So it's available to you. But remember, you open it only when you're ready to take the quiz. These are 10 questions, and you'll get 10 minutes to take those 10 questions. So if it is your intention to try to look up the answers for these questions, you will likely run out of time. And that is when I get messages from students saying, something happened. I wasn't able to finish my quiz. And then I can go in on the instructor side and see that indeed you ran out of time. You answered questions 1 through 6. It took you over 10 minutes and the test shut down. There's no getting away from that. So you will get credit for every question you completed correctly, but you get no credit for questions that you didn't answer. So do not open your quizzes or your exams until you are ready to take those tests. All right, that completes our little tour. We've reviewed the syllabus, the Canvas site, the Lippincott site. If you have any questions about anything related to this course, please use Canvas to message me, and I will do my best to get back to you within 24 hours. Thank you so much, and I look forward to getting through this class with you. It is very quick, So please make this class a priority because you can see there's so much content that we're going to be covering. And I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye now.